Welcome to our podcast on post-sepsis syndrome today. My name is Rebecca Hancock, and this is a conversation that we're having with Suzanne, who is a sepsis survivor. And what we know is that in early 2018, we started seeing articles published about the experiences of patients who were surviving sepsis, and now we know that we're doing a better job of making that happen. So we've heard some stories, and Suzanne would like to share her narrative with us about what happened to her after she had sepsis here in Indiana. And this is coming from the Patient Safety Center at the Indiana Hospital Association for Sepsis Awareness Month in September of 2019. So thank you so much, Suzanne, for joining us. And why don't you share your story with us about your narrative about your experiences with sepsis, if you would, please. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. 7 months ago, I became a survivor of septic shock. 7 months ago, I came home from the hospital after many days in ICU. 7 months ago, I didn't realize it was going to be the first of many days at home recovering and trying to become normal again. 7 months. I have been scarred for life. I now live with PTSD, anxiety, depression, pain, and heart issues, just to name a few. I am convinced that my life will never be the same. I can't even walk from one room to another in my house without becoming exhausted. Everyone has just expected me to be back to myself, but I haven't even had time to recover completely. The second I left the hospital, I had to step up and be a mom for my boys. Yeah, I try to take it easy, but let's be real. For me, that's not an option. I wonder why God chose to save me. I will be brutally honest. Some days, like today, I wish He didn't. No, I'm not suicidal. I'm real. If people could just understand the daily struggles I now have to deal with because of all of it, you would understand why I say that. I am so thankful God saved me because I know He has a plan for my life. I never doubt Him. It's the human in me that just gets me down. Today I was pretty much told I will never be the same again, all thanks to sepsis. I mean, I guess I pretty much did die and my organs were failing, so what should I expect? My body has been through a lot of trauma. What people don't realize, though, is the emotional and mental toll that it took on me as well as the physical. I still have nightmares of when I had to get a central line in my neck and had issues breathing, or from when they needed to do a certain line directly into my artery in my arm that goes through all of your nerves, and I was screaming bloody murder from the pain. The excruciating pain I was in all over my body, or having panic attacks and having to be given medicine to calm me and force me to sleep. But now I don't sleep. I have anxiety, panic attacks every single day that I have to walk myself through. I question a lot of things. I sit and cry because 2 people died that same week from the same exact thing. Also, knowing that my husband's aunt died from the same thing and she was only in her 40s, that really hits close to home. I will never in my life forget any of it. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm not okay. I am still recovering. I need help. I need prayers. I'm tired physically and emotionally. I am depressed. I don't want judged. I just want to feel like someone cares. I know there are people that do, but again, days like today, I feel completely alone. Everyone's always so caught up in themselves. Sometimes I'm even guilty of that. It's time to take care of myself, but if you think about it, say a little prayer for me. I feel alone and I need strength and encouragement. Now that I've survived a year of life after sepsis, I feel like I'm getting stronger. I am able to move on in my life and start breaking that hold that septic shock has had on me. My biggest frustration is that I still cannot do everyday tasks without getting exhausted or having to take breaks. I still do not sleep, nor do I have much of an appetite. I fight anxiety daily that I feel will never get better no matter how long it's been. All around, though, I am more and more thankful every day for surviving despite everything that I now have to live with.
Suzanne, thank you for sharing that story and the narrative of what happened to you. I'm so glad that you're feeling much better now. We've talked a couple times over the last year and checked in indirectly through someone else to see that things were progressing for you. And the reason we want to share your story is to motivate those of us who are doing hospital care to provide better discharge education and follow-up care for patients with sepsis. And your story absolutely has motivated others to do that throughout the state. We've already shared it several times, but we wanted to make sure we shared it for Sepsis Awareness Month. And so we thank you very much. And do you feel like you're getting better every day? That's what I heard you say.
Yes, I do.
Suzanne, is there anything you would like to add to this narrative that you shared today?
I just wanted to thank you for allowing me to share my story to help educate others, because before I got sepsis, I'd never even heard of it. So hopefully that this can help someone recover or even prevent getting sepsis to begin with.
Exactly. And Suzanne, I remember when you attended one of our educational events, we asked if there was anyone who wanted to say anything in the audience as reflections to what we were saying. And several people in the audience were actually sepsis survivors. Many were caregivers, more caregivers for family members than there were actually for patients in the rooms. But there were a lot of clinicians, and you stood up and you said, I just want to say that I'm a sepsis survivor, and I'm so glad to know that I'm not alone. And that was very impactful. Well, I think you have a lot to be thankful for, but a lot to look forward to as you continue to raise your two little boys who are just adorable. And we thank you for sharing this story. And just so others know, we're going to pair this with what's being done in research for post-sepsis syndrome and those who've been in an ICU with serious diseases that have caused them to need a lot of rehab post-sepsis, to see if we can make that time period better. And that will be our next podcast. All right, well, thank you so much. We appreciate your time and you sharing your narrative so that we can move care forward for sepsis patients.
Thank you.